All right, so let's look at this question. A student buys a laptop for 11,000 Rand on a hire purchase agreement. So we are looking at a question on hire purchase agreement. And if you remember earlier on, when we were looking at the definitions for hire purchase agreement, hire purchase loan agreement is a short-term loan. Okay, interest is calculated as simple interest on the what? On the full amount of the loan over the entire repayment period. So hire purchase loan is a short-term loan, but it is a manifestation of simple interest. Okay, so 11,000 Rand buys a laptop for 11,000 Rand on a hire purchase agreement. He agrees to pay what? A deposit of 20% and the balance over a period of what? Of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. He also takes out an insurance premium of 68 Rand 50 per month. Determine the amount of each installment. So let's basically go ahead and just see how we are going to go about answering this question. So first and foremost, whenever we're dealing with a hire purchase agreement loan, what is a hire purchase agreement loan? Very shortly, we know that hire purchase agreement loans are loans taken out to buy articles, items, goods, and basically it works in the following way. So they are short-term loans, very important, short-term, okay, taken out to buy articles, items, or goods. Okay, basically, obviously, it would be apparent that the person in question would not have the full cash price to pay for that item, so it basically takes out a short-term loan. So how does it work? It works in the following way. One, a cash deposit is paid. Okay, so we're just going to highlight this part. A cash deposit is paid. So here we have it. It says here, student buys a laptop for 11,000 Rand on a hire purchase agreement. Okay, since it's a hire purchase agreement, it means that this 11,000 he doesn't cough out at the beginning because he doesn't have it. So therefore, he enters into a hire purchase agreement. That in turn means that he will be taking out a short-term loan for this. Okay. So what happens? He agrees to pay a deposit of 20%. Now, what is a deposit? Remember that a deposit is a sum of money paid as a first installment on an item with the understanding that the balance will be paid at a later stage. So let's look here. A deposit of 20% is paid and the balance over a period of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. So let's first look at this first part. He agrees to pay a deposit of 20%. So if we want to check out what this deposit is, the deposit will be equal to the cash or purchase price, as we would call it. Okay, so I'm just going to use both words, okay, and I will regard them as synonymous. Cash price or purchase price. We then what? Multiply that by the percentage of the deposit over 100. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how we are going to calculate the actual amount of the deposit. So we know that the laptop is 11,000. We are going to multiply that by 20 over 100. So let's see how this works out. 11,000 times 20 over 100. So let's just go to our calculator there. Okay, and go ahead and say 11,000 times, now 20 over 100, that is 0.2. 11 times 0.2, because 20 over 100 is the same thing as 0.2 equal, that's 2,200. 2,200. So that is the deposit. Our deposit is 2,200. That's the deposit. Okay. Then after that, after a cash deposit is paid, which we know is 2,200, the next thing that we know is supposed to happen as far as our hire purchase agreement is concerned is simple interest is charged on the remaining balance, which obviously excludes the deposit. So if we want to find then the remaining balance, That means we are going to say 11,000. We're going to take the purchase or the cash price. Okay, so that is the cash price minus the what? The deposit. So 11,000 minus 2,200. So let's just check. What is 11,000? Sorry. 11,000 minus 2,200. That gives us 8,800. So we know that is 8,800. Now that is the remaining balance. Okay, the remaining balance is 8,800. Now let's go back now. It said that simple interest is charged on the remaining balance. So now that means this remaining balance, if we look at the formula, A is equal to P1 plus I times N. This remaining balance is our present value. Okay, presently the remaining balance is the present value, the principal amount, the original amount, the capital if you want. So we know that's 8,800. Now let's go back to the scenario. We were told that he agrees to pay a deposit of 20% and the balance over a period of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. At 14% simple interest per annum. Simple interest is charged on the remaining balance. So that means A is equal to, we don't know what the A, which is the loan amount. We don't know what that is yet. P, which is the remaining balance, we know is 8,800. Interest rate, which is I, is going to be 14 divided by 100. Where do we get the 14? Remember, we were told that, and the balance over a period of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. He agrees to pay a deposit of 20% and the balance over a period of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. So we are going to say interest rate R over 100, 14 over 100, which means we have 0.14 n 2 years. So now we can go ahead and plug this into our simple interest formula. I 0.14 times 2, that is A. Remember, the A is the loan amount. Okay, so we are calculating now the loan amount. Simple interest is charged on the remaining balance excluding the deposit. Okay, so the loan amount now, we are going to say 8,800. Put the brackets, sorry, let's just say 8,800. We put brackets there. We then say 1 plus 0.14. We times that by 2. We close the bracket. We say equal. We get 11,264 rand. So 11,264 rand. That is the loan amount, is 11,264 rand. And we've been asked to calculate the loan amount. It would be 11,264 rand. Now, furthermore, we are told that, so he agrees to pay a deposit of 20% and the balance over a period of 2 years in monthly installments at 14% simple interest per annum. Now, he also takes out an insurance premium of 68.50 rand per month. Okay, so his insurance premium is something that he takes out. Okay, why? Because that is to make sure that during the period that he is able to have this laptop, the laptop is insured. Okay, now that's 68 rand 50. Okay, is something that he's going to pay every month for the period of 2 years. So that's like 68 rand 50 times 24. So let's just check what 68 rand 50 is. 68.50, we times that by 24. Right, that means we have 1,644 rand, which is going to be the insurance premium. 1,644 rand. He'll be paying an insurance of 1,644 rand. That is on the side. But what are we being asked specifically here? Determine the amount of each installment. So what we are going to do is we are going to say monthly installment is equal to the loan amount divided by the months, the total months. Okay, so obviously we know that the loan amount is 11,264 rand. We are going to divide it by the total number of months. Now 2 years means 24 months. So we are going to divide this by 24. So we are going to go to our calculator and say 11,264. We divide it by what? 24 months. That basically is equal to 469 rand 33 cents. 469 rand 33 cents. Okay, but additionally, remember, we are asked, he takes out an insurance premium of 68 rand 50 per month. Determine the amount of each installment. Guys, this person has to pay 469 rand 33 cents. Okay, and then plus the monthly premium of the insurance, which is 68 rand 50. So if we add these two together, okay, plus the 68 rand 50, that gives us a whopping 537 rand 83 cents. Okay, that is basically the monthly installment. That's including the insurance premium, all right, to ensure that the laptop that he is basically going to be paying monthly installments for, in the event that maybe it is stolen or gets lost or gets damaged, it is able to be replaced because this man is paying an insurance premium, in paying an insurance premium, right? And remember, guys, for a hire purchase agreement, this is basically a way of you getting an item. The item will remain as an item that belongs to the store for the duration of the 2 years that you are still repaying the loan, all right, with the 537 rand 83 cents that you'll be paying every single month. But ultimately, what that does ensure that after you are done with the 2 years, then we can officially say that the item is officially yours. But in the event that, let's say for instance, you miss payments and you are unable to actually stay true to your obligation of paying the 537 rand 83 cents, then they do have the right to actually come to your home and repossess the item and sell it off at a much lower price, so that basically they are able to benefit from that. So hire purchase agreement loans work in that way. Very, very important, guys. So like I said, we first pay the deposit, and like I said, we calculate the deposit by taking the cash price or the purchase price, multiplying by the percentage deposit over 100. Then we get the 2,200, which is the deposit. Then in order to calculate the loan amount, we take the remaining balance, which is we take the cash price, we subtract the deposit, we get the remaining balance, which is 8,800. we take that 8,800, we charge the interest of 14% for that 2-year period. We get 11,264 rand, okay, for our loan amount. Then in order to get the monthly installment, we take that loan amount, we divide it by the total number of months that basically 2 years represents. So if we divide the 11,264 by 24, we get 469 rand 33 cents, which is the monthly installment apart, excluding the monthly premium. Because remember, additionally they said that we have to pay insurance and a monthly insurance premium of 68 rand 50, which we know that in the 24 months it is actually 1,644 in total. But of course, if we had to just look at it for that month, for a particular month, 68 rand 50. So if we take the monthly installment, we add the monthly premium or the insurance premium, then we get 537 rand 83 cents, which is basically our required monthly installment. So yeah, that's how we do 4.2.